One. And we're live.
Hello.
What's going on, folks? We have Mr. Dizzle's fishing over here, and we have Debo. Debo's fishing. Got these two awesome YouTubers. Or at least one of them's an awesome YouTuber. Yeah, one of them could be an awesome YouTuber. I mean, just
and the other one's just a Hawkeye fan.
Oh, secret files.
Oh wait, yeah, Dizzle still hasn't done a YouTube video yet. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
He's got 5 years of footage saved up, but
Yeah.
hasn't released a video. So
17 years of footage now, I think.
You know, you have more subscribers than I think I had whenever I was doing YouTube for like multiple years right now.
Yeah, right.
I blame that on Debo. Do I blame it on him, or do I?
I blame that on
Dar
Darcizzle. Everybody's going to Darcizzle
Yes.
and accidentally click you. So
Because we're very confusable.
yeah, they're like, that looks like Darcizzle. Click.
You know more than me.
Oh man. So I don't know what we're talking tonight. Maybe some summer fishing. Maybe we'll go over some of our favorite techniques, or I don't know. So we got the chat over here. So if any of you guys have comments or questions, hit them in there, and we'll make sure to get to them. And Debo and Dizzle, if you guys see comments, hit us up, and we'll make sure to grab them.
Question that we always ask is, how was everybody's fishing this weekend? I guess we could start with you gentlemen here.
Man, the day that we went out, it decided just to rain. Pretty much what, Debo, like maybe 10, 15 minutes into us getting there, you started seeing sprinkles on the water, and then it just kind of persisted throughout the rest of the day.
It works. Sorry. I was multitasking there. You can now link StreamYard to your YouTube deal, so I can actually chat, like type in chat from here, from the StreamYard comments. So that's very handy. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it started raining. Dizzle wore his, I don't know, whatever. If you were going to like a dance concert or something with your little shorts.
A dance concert?
Yeah.
My short shorts and my
your
crop top. You caught me.
That's what it looked like. Anyway, I wore a raincoat. I dressed smart, and I wasn't wet. So yeah, I don't know. It was raining, but it didn't bother me.
Nerd.
Were you guys catching them?
He was.
I
didn't.
was.
I caught one dink all day.
See, Debo does this thing where he doesn't listen to anything anybody says ever, and just does whatever he wants to, and in turn, he doesn't catch them. So I mean, I was catching them on, God, what was it? First one came off a Ned rig, and then chatterbaits, I think, were primarily the rest of the day.
Okay.
Interesting. So Debo, what you catch yours on? A frog?
No, I was throwing a weighted treble hook, and I finally snagged one because I was so upset.
Mike Long in it.
What's that? Yeah, what's that guy's name? No,
Mike
I was
Long.
throwing what did I catch? Oh, spinnerbait. Man, I kept pounding the spinnerbait. I thought for sure it was going to be. To my defense, I did lose 3 on the spinnerbait, including a decent pike. So, yeah,
wow.
Sissy hook sets, I guess. I don't know. It was just kind of one of those days.
I just want to say, me and Debo had a very, very sad moment yesterday fishing. One of the spots we used to go to all the time, topwater frogs, lily pads, scum, just the whole nine, just everything and anything that you want to catch fish on. And there was pike in there, there was bass in there, the whole nine. Lake's dead. It's dead, 100%. It's just done. I don't know if it's fed by anything or if it's just fed by runoff from other lakes or the river or anything like that. But there's no water in it. It was probably what, 4 or 5 feet low.
Yeah,
like
it
just
was.
some small pools.
I don't know if there's anything alive, so it sucks. But
otters.
Right. Was it otters? Or did they start spraying it?
No, it's choked full of stuff, so they weren't spraying it. It's just drought and whatever's feeding it stopped, and then otters took care of the rest of it. So
yeah, there was. What was it? 3 years ago, we really started seeing the otters showing up, Debo. Like really started seeing them, and then there was a bunch of beavers and things like that in the water too. So if it was fed by another body of water, they probably dammed it all up, and it was just really sad, just sitting there looking at something that used to be great and amazing, and
yeah,
it's just dead now.
Dang,
that hurts.
I had to shoot all the otters in one of our lakes over here. It was.
Can you say that?
Dang.
Aren't they a protected
dang,
species?
Brennan.
It's a private one. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Like
I thought you meant like a public lake. You're like, yeah, I just
Just
took it in my own
Sneak
hands.
up on them.
took the 308 out there and wait in the trees and
Turned them into otter dust.
oh
This
man.
reverse psychology from Saturday night.
Hey, Saturday, I went back and watched some of it. It might have
Oh,
got a little
Lord.
out of control. I apologize.
You probably shouldn't have watched any of it, Debo.
Yeah.
Just let it be.
Just so you guys know, I'm on my phone because I forgot my computer at work, so it's really hard for me to keep up with the comment. But I'm gonna
Come on, man, get with it. This is
I
your
look
job.
like I'm touching the camera.
Mike's got a good question there. That's a tough
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yes.
843.
I saw it.
True,
That's what I was
it's
like.
there.
Yeah, there you go.
There.
Brandon, be on it tonight.
What's the bait that you don't love to throw, but don't hate,
Hmm.
but that just bores the heck out of you, even
Oh,
though
that
it
wasn't
catches
the one
fish?
I saw. What time was that?
Can't
Oh, he's
say.
got one from 843. You'll have to star.
I was like,
Okay,
oh, man.
I got you. 843.
That's a
Swim.
fantastic question.
There are none from 843. Oh wait, you're on a different
Well,
time zone.
Yeah,
My bad.
you're
I think this is.
our head.
Well, I'm gonna answer this question. Swim jig.
What's the bait you don't love to throw, but don't hate?
I don't love it, and I don't hate the swim bait. Are you talking like the big swim baits? Like
Just swim jig. Like I don't
Oh, a
love
swim
jig.
jig,
I don't hate a
really?
swim-
Whoa, that's really
like-
surprising.
I'm just like but I mean like it's like yeah, it's just a love. I don't love or hate it. It's just like a.
okay, so I guess I'm gonna go with the
I don't know.
buzz bait. I don't
Really?
hate throwing the buzz bait. I enjoy throwing it. It is fun from time to time, but it just annoys me to the fact where if you're fishing around any type of vegetation or anything like that, you have to be Johnny on the spot. You have to start, you have to get it up on top of the water and keep reeling it and things like that. And if you don't, it's the entire cast could be a bomb cast, like the longest cast you've ever thrown, wasted because there's gunk all up in the blade and stuff. So that's what I'd probably say.
Very interesting. Debo, what about you?
I'd say stick bait, like Stanko or Wacky Rig. I like catching fish on them. I don't necessarily go out and look to get on a bite, but I've always got one as a follow-up. I have no shame in catching them on it. Man, if they're eating that and that's all I can get them on, cool. But I never go out saying like, gosh, I hope it's a really good wacky rig bite today. Like that'd be so fun. Just like I know I'm gonna have one, I'd rather catch them on a frog, but yeah, I don't hate it like a drop shot. I'd rather cut my pinky toe off than fish a drop shot. So
I'm gonna probably go with that's kind of hard, honestly. What'd you say?
I'm talking smack because he said,
Oh, of course.
way often then fish a drop shot. Should we talk about it then?
uh-oh.
Sure, let's talk about it.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Brandon was talking smack.
I was not talking smack.
No, he wasn't talking smack. He was just giving his point and his side of things about how drop shots don't catch big fish.
I did not say that. I said drop shots do not have the
you
track
guys-
record to catch big fish.
Let's see if this is still on here or not. Oh, here, actually, this one. So if you guys, can I show it on? It's going to show my email address and everything. Holy crap! It brought up security alerts and everything on here. But
Does it have your blood type there and your social security
it might.
number?
I don't know. I get if you're subscribed to the Bassmaster stuff. I got the top lures at Lake St. Clair 2023, and I think every single one of these that they outline, everybody had and spoke about. Every single one of them, drop shot.
Yes.
That's
something I wanted to touch on.
Even hack attack.
So that's where the
Drop
north
shot.
south thing came in, Debo.
Yes.
The what?
And said the north versus south thing came in because then Brendan says if you
Drop shot.
if you drop shot down south, you probably wouldn't have the same results.
Drop shot.
And I just said I don't know if I believe that because I just think they just don't do it.
Okay.
Drop shot.
You see people.
Who drop shots
You
down
see
south?
people. A lot of people drop shot down south, and you don't see them catch
Really?
very much. Yes, quite a few actually. So
Oh wait, here's one that's not. It's the little missile magic worm. Oh wait, yeah, it is. It's
There we
drop
go.
shot about wacky though. So okay,
Yeah.
wacky drop shot. Yeah, never mind. Okay.
okay,
Let's
so
see.
I'm just gonna give this real quick to my side of it, I guess you could say. So for me, I'm after different fish. I'm after the biggest fish I can catch, trophy fish. Another drop shot, of course. The normal person probably, I mean, like any of you guys would say, I'm out here just to catch fish, and if I catch a big one, that's awesome. I'm out there for a different fish, so drop shot's not going to cut it because the drop shot doesn't have that drawing power that some of these baits have, or a jig has, or sometimes a crankbait is, you know. So I want to get the biggest fish possible, and you got to really pitch a drop shot into their face if you want them to eat it. They're not going to come from 30 feet away to get it, if you know what I mean.
I get to 30
Right?
feet, but I think 10, 15, they'll come get it.
But we don't have like there's no like
See,
how
but
can
that-
they even feel it? Like
I feel
do you
like
guys
you
think
that. I feel like that's what you think. You think they can't feel it. I think a fish that's that big that you've been hunting, I think they're that well in tune with their environment that if you drop a drop shot within 15, 20 feet, they can go, okay, what's up?
Here's a question.
Because how old is that fish and how in tune would they be with their environment? Especially with science saying that they live in that environment and that's like their home. I think that I would like to think that's like my apartment. If somebody drops a pen in the room, like I could literally hear my girl drop a pen right now and be like, okay, I know kind of where she dropped it.
Yeah, I get that.
That's just my
Debo, you're gonna say something?
Yeah. So drop shot one. Every single one of these people, I think, except for one, had drop shot in their arsenal, basically saying that Brennan is better than all these people at fishing, is what he's saying. Is what I hear. But what was the winning drop shot? Joey Cifuentes or Cifuentes? I don't even know how you say his last name. Dude that wears the cowboy hat. He won it with 92 or something pounds for the tournament. Oh, 91.8.
Kitchen Giants.
Kitchen Giants on a drop shot. What drop shot was he throwing? This is going to double whammy Brennan. Brennan's probably going to just.
Is this the Berkeley?
Stream.
What is it?
Berkeley flatworm.
I knew it. There you go. They're catching like 5 fish a day. Like they want those 5 fish a day, and they're probably catching 25 fish a day. I'm after 1 fish, so it's a little bit different there. And they're up north catching small fish,
except not on a drop shot.
So I mean, for the different fish and how like everything is laid out, like in the north, you have clear water, smallmouth, really like those smaller baits. It just makes sense that a drop shot. Like if I was up there, I would throw a drop shot if they were biting it, if they were big fish.
505 Fishing says,
but that's just me.
That works everywhere.
Yeah, the drop shot works everywhere, most certainly, but it doesn't give me the biggest chance at the biggest fish. I'm not dissing the drop shot. It's just not what I want to throw and what I see catching big fish. Because every day I scroll through Instagram, oh, there's a few 10-pounders caught on a big bait. Oh, there's another 10-pounder. So it's just
I think the big thing too is boat versus bank. Like I honestly don't mind throwing the drop shot from the boat where I'm not getting snagged on every little tiny branch known to man. Whoop. Yeah, get out of here, Dizzle, nerd. From boat, definitely better. So I can't really talk crap about it that way. It's just I don't like when I'm out on the boat, I honestly don't think like, oh yeah, I want to throw a drop shot. I don't know. And maybe I haven't got around like a good drop shotter. That's another thing too. Like, if I was out with one of those guys learning the pros and cons of it and like when, where, how, and so much of that is sonar too. I was out with Brando on his boat and he was showing, I forget what imaging it is, but it's not like the live scope down, but it's where he has complete, he has complete everything live and a cone in front of him. And talk about cool. That was probably one of the coolest things I've seen from the, and I did I think it's Hummingbird when I went up with the Monster Bass guys up in Minnesota. The dude had like the 360 thing, but it wasn't live. It was like a sonar. You could see it like going around like a, like a military sonar, like in the movies, like bing, 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 like in a submarine or whatever. He had that. So it wasn't like live, but I could see the rocks that I was throwing to. It was really cool. But whatever Brando has, I don't know all the electronics, but you could see, like, you could literally see the shadows of fish like coming in to a thing. And then like you'd see them like go out to the next rock. It was one of the coolest things I've seen. So I'm very new to electronics. All those people that say that it's like it's cheating or whatever. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
that.
those people are crazy. I think it's just one more step in electronic. You never heard any of this with side imaging and down, like, just regular sonar down to get, oh, okay, I see a hump here at 8 foot, and it drops off here. I throw a plastic buoy out and it's marking it, right? That's how we used to do it in the old day and fish it. Nobody griped about that. But now that you can see it live, it's too much. Like, I don't know. So
It's
it was
funny.
neat.
Did you have to attend to something?
No,
Walmart
I was,
Wi-Fi.
I was trying to join the chat, but I can't remember my dang Google password to log in because everything's just saved and automatically logged in. So I was trying to connect a different way, and it's like, oh, click this, and it was like,
Well, we can get back to this question. We can get back to our.
I'm not even
versus drop shot.
I'll talk to you on the side about it.
Yeah.
That's a whole.
We'll get that later, but yes.
Frank said, "Why don't I cut off my pinky toe and use it as a drop shot bait?" I probably could. Let's see. I could measure how long it is in Debo finger.
3 inches.
So, okay, how funny is this though? How long do you think my big toe is? I wear a size 12 shoe.
1 inch. 1.5. It's 1 inch.
This guy over here.
Is it 1 inch?
In high school, they used to call me old toe thumbs.
You gotta be careful, Debo. You're gonna get paid for those things.
Debo's trying to secure, like lock up his WikiFeet page right now.
There you go. Anyway,
we your DMs later.
I have big first toe, whatever you call your first toe.
It's your thumb toe, duh.
Yeah, your thumb toe. Thumb toe.
We had a question here from
Stubby
Mike
Dog
Vogel.
wants down here. He's whining.
Yeah, I was just scrolling.
They make some good lures.
I've heard about them. I haven't fished them.
I don't know as if I know what they are.
They make some good ones for sure. Here's the question from Mike Vogel. What's the worst violation of fishing etiquette? So,
yeah, that was a good one.
I have a good one. So, who wants to go first in this, Jermaine? You want to take it off, and then
I'm going first.
Okay. Well, Dizzle,
I mean,
want to go then?
I'll dive in head first unless you want to, Jermaine.
No, go ahead. You got it.
I was just gonna say, from a bank fisherman's point of view, the worst thing that you can do is basically just run up on somebody's spot. Either you're in a boat and somebody's fishing a jetty or some piece of shore, and a boater just comes up and they're just like, hey, I'm gonna cast directly at what you're doing right now. I don't care what's going on, I'm just gonna do it. Or in Nebraska, I come across this quite a bit. It's where you're just fishing another jetty, and like 6 people just walk up on you and they're like, hey, we're fishing here now too. Like, if I'm walking out to the point of the actual end of a jetty and somebody's fishing there, sure, I might fish the jetty, but I'm going to hang back a good, 10, 15, 20 yards if possible and just fish the sides there. Otherwise, I'm not going to just run up on you. That's like gotta be the worst thing ever, is when just somebody comes and like Debo and hornswoggles your spot.
Well, the problem here I've never had that happen once here in Iowa. It's because you're over in Nebraska. So
no, we have the boat thing.
No, I never.
Boat thing
That's never happened here. Yeah, I would agree. That's probably the worst one. I've had some where people will. Dizzle and I actually had one where these 2 pricks in a boat, literally, like we were standing there fishing, and they literally come around, turn their backs to us, and then just cut in front of us with their backs to us like this with the boat. Actually, it's the other way. It would have been like out this way. We were casting, literally did this with their backs to us, like, oh, we don't see you. And it's like, so I just kept casting, and I ended up casting over one of their lines, like that they had like cast this way. I'm like, gosh, sorry, man. I'm like, I didn't notice your line was there. They're like cussing under their breath, and I'm like, pricks, dude. Like, and it's not like I went out of my way to cast. Like, I just kept literally casting where I was the whole time.
And so if there's a situation where you have to think, if you're casting from point A to anywhere in your vicinity, could you cast that far? If you can
Yeah.
cast that far, you're
Yeah.
too close to them. So if
Mhm.
you're in spot A and they're in spot B, but they're there first, and if you can cast to where they are in that vicinity, you're too close. You need to back up. You need to find a different spot.
Yep.
It's like those stickers on the back of your car. If you can read this, you're too close.
Yeah.
You're reading the spectrum. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I love that.
I was fishing one of these local lakes here, and I was going down one of these like creek like arms, and I was going down the bank, and there was a shade line. So the sun was coming up over the trees on this side, and I was fishing the shade line just recently, and I was kind of flipping my spinner bait into like different bushes and laydowns, and this person just comes running, like full gun, probably 50 miles an hour, just pulls up right next to me, like waves going like crazy. Gets up on his trolling motor, pulls this, and it's a nitro. I'm not sure if you guys have the thing where like the people in nitros are like total,
That guy. That guy. Let's just leave it at that.
Every single person in a nitro for some reason. So I'm sorry I'm sorry in the chat if you're nice and you have a nitro.
I think I've said the same thing, on mine, and we had a bunch of people like, "Oh, I drove an nitro. I'm a good guy." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah."
Sure, you
But
are
I
a
mean,
loser.
Good story.
He
bro.
just does that. He blows the entire like area of the bank that I was fishing, pulls up his trolling motor and starts motoring down like right in front of me. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This is I was fishing this bank. I'm like maybe 500 feet from the end of this like creek arm. It was so stupid.
Some people are wild. I think I got to go with so I think it's a complete obliviousness, but kayakers, when they like see you and they still just come.
Are you saying non-fishing kayakers?
Yeah, non-fishing.
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
Oh,
I
God.
know it's just obliviousness, and they don't realize until it's
Total
too late.
ignorance in just an oblivious way. Yeah.
And it's like I know they like don't do it, but it blows my I literally almost cast it into this one person's kayak because I got so pissed. I was like, you mother. And like it landed right next to him, and I watched him look at my jig, and I was just like, yeah, he saw that. He literally went just like that. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I passively aggressively taught you.
Yeah, but that's my biggest one. But
That's
other
when
than
you throw in one of these and just hit him in the head with it.
No,
well, that's like, did you see the one there was one on Instagram somebody
Website.
shared with me, and like, Debo, what would you have done? It's like this, I don't know, he probably looks like a college kid. I don't know how old the guy was, but I think he was fishing salt. And
Oh yeah,
it was
I know this one.
Yeah, it was like fishing, and then these like guys literally pull right up on him with their like salt boat or whatever.
Right after he caught a fish.
Yeah, right. It cast exactly where he's at, like up toward him, right after he caught this fish. And he's like trying to weigh it and talk like to his camera or whatever. Yeah, and the people in the comments are like, "Man, it's insane." People are like, "Yeah, well, you don't own the water, dude. They can go there just as much as you can." And I'm like, "Yeah, they can, but they're pricks." So
Wasn't he like, dude, you can go right out there. They're actually even further out than what you are. Was that?
Yeah, he's like, dude, they're blowing up all right there. You could literally go right there and catch some. And the guy's like, what? He's like, if you don't like it, get a boat and move or something. Like, I don't remember. It was. I got pissed watching like half of it, and then I was just like steaming. So I'm like, I better quit. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like most of the people that don't fish are the ones that are kind of more the problem, I would say.
The guys
jet
that
skiers.
Like 3-4 times a year.
Oh God.
And have like a super nice boat and all like that. I feel like I'm judging right now, but sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, man. I don't get it. Like some people, and it's true. That's the thing, is it's hard to battle as like how there's no universal language of how close is too close, how far is like, I don't know.
I had this one dude like literally scare me, and it was back when my knee was hurt, so I couldn't move like that. So it was actually really kind of scary. And he I don't really like leaving my stuff too far from me. So I had like 3. I always bring like 4 rods with me. 3 of them are on the ground. My backpack's there. He stood in front of my backpack and my rods, like 2 steps. Like I literally had to say excuse me to pick up my stuff, and I was just like, excuse me. Oh, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
But
Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe the four of us need to get an etiquette guide put together. We can start doing online. What do they call that? Where the
Online courses.
yeah, they have something called like an ebook or something you can
Fishing
create.
etiquette for dummies.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll create that. Dizzle's like, not only am I a member, I'm a user. # dummy.
Did you remember that day that we were fishing and we were fishing the bank and those old guys came just trolling like within, I don't know, 7 feet of the bank, and we're just like, what do you do? We just kept trying to walk and get in front of them, and they just kept speeding up a
They
little
just kept-
bit. And
I'm
y'all
like, how's the
catching
fishing
anything?
going? Yeah, I'm like, well, kind of tough right now, but
this is
You know.
my bank.
and then like Jermaine said, they were just completely oblivious. Just two old boys out
Yeah.
looking to catch whatever they could and eat it and fry up some fish or,
Yeah.
do whatever they can to get rid of their manners.
Yeah.
Yeah, just completely oblivious.
I don't care.
Yeah, whatever we're catching is going in the live well.
That's it.
Oh, we got a big catch.
Hey,
on
Oh.
Scott.
there.
Scott sent me that.
Sir.
Nice. Dizzle, you need to get you a
There's
color.
good ones lately.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be some sort of Okeechobee variation. I'm kind of a live and die Okeechobee guy.
I get to
Go
go
on
for
your jigs.
I haven't been fishing in a while.
How long?
I mean, so like you ever go fishing and you just don't try?
No.
That like
No, I get you. I fully understand that. You're just like out there. 'Cause you're like,
you just
Yeah,
like
usually-
You're just like zombie winding.
you just get out there. Like the moment you get out there, you're just like, I just don't. I'm not.
I thought that was Dizzle like all the time. Yeah, because I'm
Oh.
like, dude, what are you even doing out here? Are you even trying? I'm really trying, Debo.
You know?
dude, the
Try
last,
harder.
the second to last
there's
spot that we
reasons-
tried.
there's reasons behind that too. Like I thought I would.
Yeah.
I planned to go get my kayak. I didn't go get my kayak. I went to a different lake that I didn't want to go to. You know, like I couldn't go to my favorite spot because a tree fell. I started walking through the woods. There was mad spider webs I was walking through. I was like, I should just go. And I looked at it down on my phone. And it's supposed to rain. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know what? That's just all the fishing gods telling me to go home. I just went home. I stayed up there for like an hour and a half.
Oh.
And to fish for like a good chunk of the day, and I was like, I'm going home. And as soon as I left, it started pouring. So I was like, okay.
Well, there we go. There's a upside, I guess you could say.
I went to play video games. But
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever forgotten that. I just power through it and just get skunked and come home really angry.
I do that. And that's where I was talking to myself about it too. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna power through this. I'm gonna fish for 4 hours, get no adulting done. I was like, I gotta go.
I usually always start out super excited, then I'll get to that like halfway through when I'm burning from
Yeah.
the sun, being out there all day and not catching anything. Then I start
Mhm.
questioning life. Like,
I kind of went
Why
into
did
it that and it was bad. So I kind of did it to myself.
Or somebody's like, hey, we got to change spots. This spot sucks. When you're catching fish and they're not.
You guys are at each other today.
I had
So-
like 6 months worth of Dizzle picking on. Now he's trying to make up for it on here.
He was
Just to
he
get the
was
better of me on
aggressive.
live.
He was aggressive the other day. I mean, he was just relentless.
Well,
Nonstop.
that's what happens
Oh.
when you're now a Cornhusker fan.
I think I might have clicked that and I didn't mean to.
Oh,
Rob, I'll check. Hit me up later. I'll make sure I got that, Rob.
yeah, I would totally do that. 10-inch jerk. I have some 12-inch sluggos up there that I want to use for that. Drop shot those. Yeah, I'm with you there. You have to weed through a lot of small bass to get to bigger ones, if there are even bigger ones around there. Because usually a lot of the time when the small ones are biting, there's not really any big ones around. You know, whenever you see them like blowing up in the middle of the lake and whatnot. So,
hmm
I don't know.
I
That's
was
just
God,
just
it
my
was-
for the drop shot more.
So question for you two fellers. So when me and Debo were out the other day, fish were chasing. chasing baits big time. Like you'd be near the shore and you would see them like dang near coming up onto the land trying to catch some bait fish.
Shamuing.
Like, what are you throwing at that point in time?
Me?
Just a question. I mean, we tried almost everything. No luck.
Fluke?
Debo, did you throw a fluke?
That was the. So I was actually. I've got a video coming tomorrow.
Or
You'll want to tune into the end of it because that was. I went through my list, and that was the only thing I didn't throw that I think could have done it. Because I was throwing
You even
topwater
said a
walking
couple
bait.
of times.
I did. I was throwing the topwater walking bait. Couldn't get anything to commit. Threw the swim jig, spinner bait.
Size down on the topwater walking bait.
Yeah. I had like 4 on the spinner bait. Couldn't keep them. They were just kind of swiping at it. But the fluke was the only thing. And I talked about that today.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I can think of.
Good call. Yep.
That's interesting. Like whenever sometimes you get home and you're just like, oh man, I should have tried this bait. I'm like, you kind of feel like, oh man, I know that would have worked better than everything else. Don't you get that sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it would have, maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. It's always, that's the weird thing with fishing. Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know what to see. The other thing too is, so when I was walking the bank because the place we were fishing was like probably 3 foot low. And everywhere I went, there was all kinds of shad, dead little, like 1-inch shad. So I almost wonder if like a little rooster tail, like if they were chasing bait that was so small that was all they wanted. But like, I should have took some pictures because they were like the size of my first thumb digit, like little round,
So an inch.
fat. Yeah. Little fat, like,
That's an
well,
inch and an
let's
eighth.
see. Yeah. That's
Okay.
about an inch and a half. Yeah. About an inch and a half. But I just wonder, like, and I've talked to like Hank and stuff, those people that fish like these real deep reservoirs with like super huge bait balls, and they will say something different, like, you know, throwing like a different colored underspin under them. And, you know, so if they were really focused in on that, like that small bait, how do you get them to convert? Where there's times like I'll throw, like, this is one of the bigger like do it blanks or like a bit like a sexy dog. And man, if they're on bait, you just throw that and they're just hammering it, right? Any sort of anything close, they're just on it. And then you've got those times where the bait's so small. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I'm not a pro, man. I would not want to base my living on catching
it was
fish.
crazy. I remember Debo was down the bank a little bit from me, and I was on a jetty, and the water was down so low, and it was really weird because the water was like super clear compared to what it normally is. Normally that water's a little bit stained, isn't it, Debo?
It was still pretty stained, yeah.
There
was
were
kind of a
some spots that
muddy
were pretty clear.
grossness.
So I was pitching back to this spot, and I could literally see, from my point of view, I could look down and I could see bass coming and going and things like that. And they wanted nothing to do with anything that I threw at them.
Yeah. That's the worst.
So frustrating.
I mean, in that kind of situation, honestly, a bull shed or a fluke or a plopper would be like my go-to 3. I feel like those are kind of like, I mean, maybe a spinnerbait too, like a spinnerbait.
I tried a Chapo too. I didn't get anything. I tried the
Really?
90 or 100 size Chapo or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for whatever reason, the fluke, like the dead doing nothing, I think could have, because I didn't bring any spinning reels. I think I only brought 4 rods, which is very not normal for me. And that was one of the only things that I was like, gosh.
Crazy enough, I threw the Hellraiser yesterday a lot.
Oh, that's a cool
But
bait.
I've thrown
the
a
only
lot.
one that
Dude.
the only one that color I have it in is like it's solid black. Everything on it is black. The feather on it's black. The blade's black. The whole thing.
My boy
I
got
didn't
a bass
nothing.
briefcase.
Do what?
My boy Pat got the one that get the briefcase. They actually broke it because they hit it so hard.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. It's not a line through.
Smoking that thing. Crazy. I don't know if he got another one yet, but yeah.
Huh, that's
And
interesting.
throwing top water right next to him, I couldn't get anything. Couldn't get anything to bite. My top
It's a
water,
cool bait.
terrible. Worst top water year for me ever, hands down. It's crazy.
Really? That's crazy.
Ask little Tommy. He was there. He was with me.
It could be the fact that I don't know how to fish it either. I'm just like hucking it and winding it back in, varying speeds. But
Oh, you do.
I didn't get anything on it, not even a sniff.
I just throw mine. Like I live on a lot of herring lakes, so chrome is like a must-have for me.
Ooh,
So that's
Was-
like always for me. A chrome color is like the deal. But what I would do is I just reel it as fast as I possibly can without it blowing out, and then every once in a while give it a
Okay.
few stops, and then just twitch it underwater, then reel it back up real fast.
what are you
and keep it
fishing it
going.
on? That could be my problem too.
My crankbait rod right now, just regular old
Oh,
crankbait
okay.
rod, which is pretty weird. I mean, it casts like a mile because all the weight's like right there in that
Yeah.
blade. This thing just shoots out, but
How's your
It's
hookup
such-
ratio been on it?
it's been great. Honestly, it's been
Really?
really good. The only thing, like the only time I've had like kind of weird hookup ratios whenever I jig it. So like you cast it out there and pull it up off the bottom, like kind of like you would a lipless crankbait, and it just chatters up. But I think that's because it's moving so fast, possibly. So all I do is probably add like a split ring at the end right there, and that'll
That's
get
what I
that
was
hook
thinking
back.
of doing, or even like a split ring swivel type deal. Because I've fished
Yeah.
it a couple times, and I had one day where I had like 6 blowups on it, and every one I lost within 2 cranks. Like, oh, they're on,
Really?
click, off, and just feel them. Yeah.
Mm.
So
You guys got hits
That's
on
interesting.
it. I never even got hits.
yeah, it's a cool bait. I remember when they first came
Yeah.
out. The first thought I said was like seeing them, awesome. It's going to be an awesome pike bait. And like
Yeah.
actually
Oh, yeah.
fishing it, you can feel the very hard like chatter thump, but it gives
yeah.
kind of like a
Mhm.
spitting from that nose.
Yeah, it's
It gives kind of like that spitty. Yeah, I think it's cool. Hookup ratio
Definitely.
sucked for me, but yeah, it's kind of a cool bait.
well, like some of those days you just have fish just nipping at it, like you do like with crankbaits. Sometimes you just have them nip at it and you change the color and they absolutely engulf it. It's just, I guess it's fine tuning your bite, I guess. I don't
Mhm.
know. I'm horrible about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not that into it either, but that was one thing because I kind of taken from your swim bait stuff. I have a couple of those swim baits that have like the swivel hooks on the bottom,
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking like something like that where they can't use it for leverage because especially the back, that was my only thing when I tied it on. I'm like, there's so much metal and stuff going on in the back where that hook is
Yeah.
actually attached to it. Like there's a lot of stuff to get in the way of the fish's mouth. Yeah, to like get in the way of that hook. So
I would agree. Definitely.
I was very confused and had to look it up on YouTube to figure out how to actually tie it on to begin with, just because there was so much stuff going on. I was like, I think I tie it on up here, but that doesn't feel right with the super huge weight down on the back end of it.
yeah, Dizzle was
But yeah.
fishing it backwards the first 5 times he threw it. So it was really
I
weird.
bet you it would work backwards, honestly. I bet it would.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know,
it
it
would
looks like it
probably
would.
just be a weird chatterbait, jig
I
and
don't know.
chatterbait. Maybe I'm gonna jig it. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's
So I
done.
know somebody who caught one with the subsurface where they were like letting it sink and then they would like just dig it and then let it drop and then pull it up and let it go.
Well, that was the thing. I said it looks like a suic. If you look up a suic musky lure, those guys will jig a suic, and that's what that kind of looks like. Is they mix like a chatterbait with a suic, and that's what they do with those.
Okay.
They
I'm
have a lip
wondering
on
if I
it
could
where you
almost
pop it.
take the weighted part with the treble off, put it onto the tie end, and then tie it onto the bladed end and fish it that way.
You could try.
I'm gonna reinvent it and come out with my own. Call it the Heaven Razor.
Take the back treble off. Put like a few like a split swivel on it, and then just put a jig on there instead. And
A
then just
split
jig it.
swivel with a wire leader on there.
The hell jig.
The Dizzle razor.
Yes.
Oh,
It's your top water jig. Which I'm still doing in prototyping. Dizzle, I have the molds made.
Actually, might work.
I'm gonna get you some prototypes sent in. Debo,
I'm
also sent
excited
you
for
some.
this. This is gonna be interesting.
Don't
I've been
encourage
talking-
him, Brendan.
I could jig. I could just do nothing but jig all day long. Doesn't
All
matter
day
water
long.
column.
Top water doesn't matter. Suspending jigs for cold water. Speaking of top waters, I just got these in from TK and Marty Burns. Look at that cracked bone on that right
That's
there.
nice.
These are balsa. So these are the.
What was on
dream
the
whoppers.
bottom of that crack bone? Is it like red, like
That's on the top
veins,
where
or
the
is
eyes
it?
are.
Oh,
It's
okay,
a
I see
very
it now.
very subtle, like white kind of, but it's just basically a bone crack. But
That's nice.
Yeah. Super sweet top water. So just wanted to give TK a little shout out there for super dope baits, and Marty. Marty made the baits. TK painted them. So if you guys want them, there's no more left. I don't think they sold out in like 2 seconds. It was the fastest sellout ever, but he'll have more eventually.
If you want some, Tough luck.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm so used to saying if you want some, go here, here, and here. It's just like, what? Only foot fans.
There you go, Debo.
Oh, I was like, don't give me.
No, Rob, we don't drink if it's not my live. Powerade. Powerade's what we're sipping on tonight.
And it's also,
Lemonade.
Did you know the Powerade made popsicles? Powerade flavored popsicles. They're pretty good.
No, I didn't know that.
They're pretty good, honestly.
I know I'm old now because I can only drink the Powerade Zero. If I drink regular Gatorade or Powerade, it gives me heartburn.
yeah.
Oh, they're
It's too
stubby.
strong.
Yeah,
Like
too
if
much
I
sugar. I
regularly
can't do it.
I can't drink it. It's like I can only drink salsa. And
Yeah.
this orange vanilla is a little underrated. I'm just gonna say, it's pretty good.
Orange vanilla.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
I like my rut beer.
Root
Love me
beer.
some root beer.
Yeah, I liked it 10 years ago too, kid.
Shasta.
Oh god, there was a question. There's no way I can go that far back, but I think it was from Mike Vogel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was for you, Brennan. Something about since it's that time of year again. What's your favorite, or what are you looking most forward to for school lunches? Something along those lines.
Uncrustables.
Dude, I need to get on this train. What are these? I've never even seen these Uncrustables or like had
You,
any.
you want me
never
to
seen
sit up and get one?
People,
Like, I
well,
have
I've seen them now. Like it's been, yeah. I've heard people talking about. You were
I have
talking about them,
on stream.
and I've seen them. Yeah, I need to get
They're
on the
just
train.
great. Your girls will love them too. It's just easy.
And I love peanut butter and jelly. So
Yeah, it's just easy.
I've never had them. They look like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you make on your own, where you just like went crazy and you put way too much jelly in there, way
Yeah.
too much peanut butter, and
portion.
the instant you try to take a bite, it's all over you.
And honestly, the strawberry ones are good too. I'm a big
Strawberry
grape guy.
jelly.
Towards the grape, but they have the
it's
strawberry.
underrated. Those are underrated.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm
I'm gonna have
over
to
all the
look for
people
those.
that are not fans of grape flavor.
Oh, I got
I like
a
both.
guy.
Tastes so fake.
Somebody made this question kind of a staple. Do you guys listen to music while fishing? And if so, what are you listening to?
Oh,
I know whenever I go fishing with Debo, I don't usually because we're talking, but if I go by myself, 100%, I'm either listening to some sort of podcast or honestly depends on the type of fishing that I'm doing. It sounds weird. If I'm doing any type of like early
Classical when I'm
spring,
jigging.
late fall, and I'm doing like jerkbait fishing, I want something with like a tempo or a rhythm that I'm not distracted by, that I can kind of keep pace with as I'm fishing that way. It sounds
Okay.
totally weird, but my brain
All right.
won't allow me to do an offbeat type of thing as I'm like trying to fish some sort of cadence type of bait. If it's a non-cadence type of bait, I'll listen to whatever. Which reminds me, I still need to send you, Jermaine, like some songs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy when like Master of Puppets comes on and he's throwing a jerk bait. It gets nutty.
so you're working the jerkbait to the music, to the beat of the music.
Yeah.
Kind of, a little bit, yeah. Like not the full tempo of it, but I'll catch on to like, I don't know if there's like a cymbal or like a certain like drum bass line or something like that. I'll catch on to that and I'll kind of work it to that rhythm. So it's usually a slower type of song, I guess.
Very interesting.
All right.
Never heard of anyone doing that before. So I don't listen to anything.
Yeah, I've never heard
I
that.
don't want to.
Yeah, I don't either. I love music, but that's one time I don't want any music or anything. I like nature.
Yep. And I want to be able to hear and see if there's any bass blowing up or
Blowing
anything.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah, I just do one headphone, and I usually do the Apple has the live listen feature
Yeah.
where it amplifies stuff around you too. So I've heard some
Really
interesting conversations go on away
it's
from
kind of
me
like pew
because
pew, like the electronic pew pew
yeah.
muffs that do that.
yeah,
Huh.
I've heard some funny
So-
funny conversations also, Debo, at the range.
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know if I should say this on here, but essentially you can put your phone down and use it as a listening device. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
With the AirPods.
Like with the Apple phones anyway.
Already pointed it out. Somebody was like, yeah, go put your phone over there and walk away with your AirPods and just hit that button. I was like, It's
Yep.
kind
Wow,
of
Wow.
It's kind
that's
of
crazy.
Apple does some wild things that you should just look
Yeah.
up little wild features that you didn't know about your AirPod on YouTube.
know.
On it now.
Wow, that's crazy. So we got a question here from Matt, the JDM King or JDM expert. Have you tried any wakes this year? What's your favorite one to use?
No, I need to. I was just talking to my guy over at Top Banana. Hold on. I'll show you a couple of cool ones. Also, Matthew, we need to get you on, dude.
Oh wait. Oh god. I was about to say take a drink, but it's not alive here.
On Saturday. We're starting the week here, buddy. We got to be good now.
Right.
I had one sitting over here that would have
We're
been good.
someone's week.
So I will say two that I wanted to try and still haven't was we had Top Banana on a while back, and he did the dead gill looking rat lure,
Oh yeah,
which sounds really cool. It's got a good click to it. He's a good dude who's followed me for a long time. Good cat. And then also Sack Pig. So we did a little
oh yeah.
trade together, and he's got some really cool. He does a bunch of footage of him fishing. Oh, this is what I was talking about. So he makes these are like a resin whatever, and he puts these like sockets in them. Yeah, puts like a socket in it, and then the hook is on, so you can completely go all the way around. It's on like a swivel, so in case they hit this, they can't use the bait as leverage. It can just keep going around and around and around. So yeah, those are a couple. No, Matthew, I haven't. I'm a loser when it comes to throwing big baits and wake baits and stuff. So,
Dude, okay, I'm just gonna say this: get like a Strike King 2.5, like
don't tell me how to
square,
live my
like
life,
weight bait.
Brennan.
Like it's literally just like a super shallow square.
So
bait.
okay, so here I asked that question to everybody. Maybe I haven't asked you that. When is so? I've heard a lot of people say it's pretty niche, or it's like a certain bite window. But I have a number of things like a spinnerbait. Even the other day, I kind of skunked on it, but like it felt like spinnerbait conditions. Like there's certain days where I can tell you today feels like this condition. I am 85% confident I can catch them on this. Never do I go out and say I'm confident I can catch them on a little wake bait. Like what are your perfect conditions for, like you said, like a little Strike King 2.5 or something like that, like a little crank, because there's different kinds of wake bait. Like obviously this is going to be different than throwing like a little Strike King 2.5 type thing, right? So like, I don't know, tell us.
So the Strike King 2.5 wake is a great one if you're just starting out because it stays pretty close to the surface. And like what I look for in a wake bait is for it to stay on the surface and not dive under very far. So like if the max depth I want it to dive down is like 2 feet. So that way, in case there's a stump down there, I can crank it down like a square bill and hit the stump. But my conditions would be, I like a cloudy sky and I like a little bit of chop. But if there's no wind, just reel it extremely slow on the surface, just slow enough that it gets it moving, but not slow, like not too fast. So if there's no wind, that's what I usually use. But the cool thing about like a lot of these wake baits is they have big bills on them. So this is one by Marty Burns and TK. This is one of my favorites. This is not technically a wake bait because you can crank it down to like 5 feet. But what I do is I pop it like a popper and it makes a bloop. But you can also walk it like a spook, kind of. You can kind of walk it like a spook. So whenever they're feeding, like whenever they're like super aggressive and they're feeding close to shore, I'll parallel cast this to shore. And I'll just like crank it down for like a half a reel turn and the thing will go down and then float back up super hard. And this is balsa, so it has that nice like wobble back up and then pop it and then it'll give it like a little bit of a splash and it has the big bill so it deflects off of cover. So wake baits you can use in a lot of different ways. You can use them kind of as poppers or walking baits or crank baits or like little tiny topwaters, and they're honestly a super versatile bait. But the Strike King 2.5 wake, that would be a great one. It has a knocker in it as well. I've removed the knocker before, but I honestly don't see a difference in fish catching before. So I would just leave that in. I'm sure you're not going to take that out though. But yeah, just crank and wind, just like you would a crankbait. Just keep your rod tip up so it stays on the surface. You can burn it real fast. You can reel it slow. You can reel it extremely slow or medium retrieve. I mean, honestly, just mess around with it. I like a cloudy sky and, a little bit of chop on the water. Just give it a try.
My problem is I cut myself into two like definitive modes. It's like, okay, they're not hitting top water. Like I never like in the middle go to, oh, maybe I need to go to like a really shallow lake. It's either, they're hitting top water and it's awesome, or I'm going to go to like a swim jig or spinnerbait, something, like subsurface. So it's like, I need to get out of that.
But that's what I like about a wake bait is you can use both. You can use it for both. You can use it as a topwater, slow moving or fast moving topwater, or you can use it as a crankbait. You know, it's kind of a do everything kind of bait, which is what I like. So I don't have to retie.
Yeah.
You know, so give it a try. I'd love to see like your success on it.
Yeah, especially as a bank angler, you know, so many of the places that, you know, like I've thrown the man's baby 1 minus, and that's probably the closest thing to a
Yes, sir.
wake bait I've had success on. But you know, to me, that's more of that's like a crankbait. I'm just thinking I'm cranking with it in places that I can't throw a 5-foot diver, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe getting out of that and just thinking of it as a really, really, really shallow diving crankbait instead, and just kind of using that mindset. But like, yeah, I
Exactly.
don't know. Over open water, like, yeah, I don't know. I just never, I see these guys throwing that stuff and no confidence in a wake bait.
Yeah. I think it's an awesome bait. I mean, Dizzle, have you used one before?
I honestly remember accidentally
They
buying
say
some
walking, I
wake.
meant wake bait if I said walking. Sorry.
I remember buying accidentally wake baits, and I've never thrown them. Never. I just don't know. I don't know when it would have come into play in the bodies of water that I fish. Traditionally, I'm looking more at like weedy stuff or, you know, something with some sort of scum on the top and things like that, or it's like deep drop offs on jetty edges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I had
Yeah,
some good luck with the wake bait. I was throwing a 6 cents one, of course, but they were really coming to get it out of the water. They were coming out of the water to get it. They were like spearing it.
Damn.
Cool. Some
That'd
small.
be fun as hell.
That's awesome. Yeah. Then there's also the big giant wake baits that you can use. Yeah. Every time I try to go, there's times I don't care if I catch anything. Yeah. Yeah, you're just happy to be on the water. It's fun.
There was a lot of times where it was, you know, especially after like one of those really, really long, like just kind of stressful days at work, you're like, I don't care if I'm gonna catch anything. I just need to get out. And specifically in those days, I'm not listening to any type of music. It's just like I need to be able to not think of anything and just kind of zone out. Like people like sometimes people look at me and be like, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Literally nothing. Not thinking about anything. I'm just, you know, one of those spaced out, dazed out kind of times. It's one of the best times to go.
That's Tyler.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Tyler? We have him on next week on the stream, actually, as long as that's still good with you, Tyler. But do you throw walking baits, Dizzle?
I should more often. There was that epic day Debo and I had where we both threw the what was it, the Strike King it was Strike King Sexy Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just caught a bunch, and you know, every once in a while, I have one tied on right now. We went out the other day. I should have thrown it. I never did. It's another one of those things, just like a jerk bait, where I guess music would kind of help me with that kind of thing too. But yeah, nothing against them. I just I can't ever put the jig down.
You like your jigs.
That's it. He's a jig
Jermaine,
man.
I don't think, didn't you just catch a bunch of fish in a walking bait? I thought you did in one of your videos, didn't you?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
No top water love here.
I have it's been the boyo this year for me has been the biggest producing topwater
What is
bait
that?
for me. The boyo.
What is that?
Spook, boyo spook. It's like a smaller version of the Super Spook Junior.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's a good little finesse. It's just a little bit downsized version, but it's bigger than the Zara Spook
Junior?
Puppy, which is kind of hard to walk because it's such a small bait.
Okay.
So this is like a little bit oversized version of that. Casts really well. I want to say it's like 3/8 or half ounce for being that small of a bait. I'll look real quick, but yeah, that's been my go-to for sure.
Well, I've never even seen that or heard of that before. That's interesting.
Well, it's a small bait, so you probably wouldn't even. You look at it and be like, only peasants throw baits that are this small.
What is this, a bait for a baby?
Are these baby baits? I like your little baby boyo bait, Debo. Let's see.
Tyler
so it
says poppers
is
work for him very well. Yeah, poppers are a big confidence bait.
Boyo's only 3 inches. It's 3/8 of an ounce. Whereas
Wow, that's tiny.
the Super Spook Junior is, but it walks really easy. It walks just like a regular like Super Spook Junior, which I think they're half ounces. Is that right? Where's the Super Spook Junior?
That's right.
Head and Super Spook. The Junior is Junior's a half ounce, 3.5 inches. So it's a half inch smaller and a little bit lighter.
Is this a bait for ants?
What is this, a school for ants? I just watched that movie. Oh, Debo, real quick, I gotta tell you. Guess what movie I watched the other day? Talked about it recently.
Troll 2. The best
Congo.
horse movie ever made.
Congo.
Oh, dude, bad gorilla, good gorilla, good dude. That's a super
good gorilla.
super underrated movie, man. I love that one.
Oh God,
Never heard of this,
dude.
Brennan, you're like,
you have to watch it. It's a classic '90s, late '90s, early 2000s, right, Debo?
Yeah, I would say mid to late 90s. Yeah. Late 90s. Yeah, I love that movie. I own it on DVD, man.
Amy, good gorilla.
Good gorilla.
Yes, she speaks sign language, but she also has the sign language glove thing that allows it to speak.
So she signs it and it puts it into words. The premise of the movie is it's this
95, Debo.
95. Okay. Yep. This company has like ulterior motives for going to the Congo to check out what they think is going to be this like material that they can use to help world communications, blah, blah, blah. But it's really just their thing to go get rich off these like gemstone things that are in this
Diamonds.
like lost place in the Congo. And it's completely overridden and covered by these like monster gorilla
white
breed
ghosty kind of
things,
gorillas.
And they try to take Amy back to where she came from, and she can talk, and it's an awesome movie.
Amazing. Check it out.
Okay.
It's got people in it. Nobody you had ever heard of before, but it's got people.
Yeah, the girls in stuff. I forget.
Well, that one guy too, the bad guy that funds it all. He was.
He's it. Tim Curry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, Tim Curry. I was gonna say, wasn't he the guy from like Blank Check or something like that?
You guys rabbit hole of early '90s movies here.
Yeah. Oh man, sorry.
Come on, man. I'm older than both you and Brennan. Come on now.
So it's all right.
Uncle Dizzle, he's the old one here.
Mike's got this one here. How often do you go out with a plan and bait's tied on for that plan? And what is the breaking point where you start tying on your entire tackle box to find a bite?
Man,
who wants to start that? I could start.
All right, for it.
I try to do the 20 minutes. So what I've been doing lately, especially, I mean, it's hard, a little bit harder from the bank, but I try to do like a 20-minute rule. Like if I throw 4 or 5 rods with 5 different lures for 5 minutes each and I get nothing, there's probably nothing there. Or at least nothing there that wants to bite. So I'm going to move. And then once I get to like an hour, 2 hours, then it's like, all right, I need to change something. Yeah. And then hopefully after that, when I change something, I catch something, because then if not, then I start to spiral a little bit. And then I kind of try to change everything to put something a little different on everything. But then after that, it's kind of like, that's when you're kind of just going down a bad slope. But hopefully you catch something before that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it the 20-minute rule. 20 minutes and 20 minutes change spot, 20 minutes change spot, 20 minutes change spot. And then after that first hour, I'm changing lures.
What about you guys?
I'd love to say I go out with the ability to think that I can change whatever baits I have already tied on, but I never do. I just, for some odd reason, I just don't. don't want to give in to the fact that what my game plan was for the conditions and the bodies of water that we were going to fish is not playing out. So I will just like grind the grind until I just get upset and leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. Depends on the day, man. There's some days like kind of like Jermaine was saying, I would have my like 4 or 5 rod kind of go-tos and I'll just keep
Yeah.
cycling through those. There's other days where I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna try something weird. There's
Mhm.
other days where it's like I'll keep two in my hand and it's like I'm really confident this is gonna happen. That's kind of the way it was when we just went out. Like I had a couple things I kept switching to between that walking bait and the spinner bait. I'm like, dude, there's stuff chasing. I've got to be able to get them, and it never happens. So yeah, I don't really have
Yeah.
a set system.
See, then you can also run into the exact opposite issue though. You have something that you catch them on early. So like this last trip that we went out on, I caught them on. I didn't even take the Ned rig back with me besides the first place we stopped at, but I threw the chatterbait and I was like chatterbait because I was catching them on it. And I didn't ever want to go away from that because I assumed that if I caught them earlier in the day on it, I would probably continue to catch them on it. So that's the other issue that I kind of run into that I can't like pull myself away from, you know?
Yeah, that's the hard part. Like Bassing with Big Moan just said, adjust as you go. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's kind of a tough thing I run into is so like my worst, like let's say I'm throwing something and I have to adjust that one single thing. So let's say I'm throwing that Hellraiser, I'm throwing the spinnerbait or whatever, and I'm getting bites, but they're not like really hammering it. I'm pretty bad at like, okay, I know this is the exact time I need to switch to a chatterbait to this, or this is the time that I need to like switch the blades, or I need to switch the color, or like I get really bad in that thing of like, okay, I got bites on it, this has to work. I just need to keep trudging, you know. So fine tuning, and maybe that just kind of comes with more time on the water and what you're around, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially color. Like I'm really bad at like if I'm throwing a white chatterbait and I'm not getting bites and I feel like that should be getting bit, at no point in time am I like, oh gosh, okay, well I'll back up. Maybe I will say like I'll go to a bluegill, but never am I like, oh, I bet a black and blue is going to work, or this like threadfin shad, or, you know.
Yeah.
Like if I'm throwing a flipping bait, if I'm throwing a green pumpkin like D-bomb, never am I like, oh, I bet black and blue will kill him. I bet this
We
red.
got a guy in the chat who does that. He tries like he'll throw like his bait and throw it in 3-4 different colors first, and then switch lures completely. And
I'm bad at that.
Interesting. I'm terrible at that. I mean, so the only way that I'll switch like is chatterbaits, and that's only because like I have a stealth, I have a jackhammer, I have a mini max, and I have a slobber knocker all in my boxes. That's the only. I'm not real. So I guess
are they all different colors or variations of the same or
different? Most. I mean, like I try to do like shadow or bluegill. So like, you know, it's one or the other. I was just.
There you guys.
I don't know if I really call that switching though. You know, I'm just. I mean, yeah, I guess it is, but I'm switching. Just let me see if they'll hit a slobber knocker over a jackhammer, or let me try the mini max or something like that. But.
Yeah. Do you guys like? Are you guys any of you guys against like bluegill colors?
no? I love bluegill.
Okay.
I love them.
Okay.
Are
There
you?
are people that are against
So
bluegill
weird.
colors?
Well, like not against like bluegill colors, but like
Here we
don't go towards them.
Here we
Really?
go.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make a
don't
whole
know.
lot of sense to me, considering they're like one of the most.
Yeah, maybe they're not a
Basic
Midwest
fish that
like
you would-
angler.
Aren't bluegills
Okay.
pretty much everywhere with that same?
No,
kind of
they're everywhere.
bluegill
They're
pattern?
everywhere except for Oregon. I think Oregon has like a small area that they aren't in.
I don't think I'm going to be fishing in Oregon anytime soon. So
I think it's
I'm
I
pretty
think it's
good.
Lake
but-
Shasta.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, because I don't.
Well, I didn't
I'm
mean
gonna
it that
be
way. I'm
weird
just saying,
anymore,
like in the Midwest, we have a lot more of those lakes and stuff that have bluegill. Whereas, like some of them are like, you know, it might be more of a herring lake or like a shad,
Oh, sure.
completely dominant lake. You know, but
Yeah,
that's just what they're used to fishing, kind of thing. Is
yeah. Because I don't think I have any more jigs that I throw, or like chatterbaits or spinnerbaits that I throw that are in a bluegill color. Like I mean, they're all
Around-
whites.
around
Like,
here,
they're
I would
white
say it's
fish.
the exact opposite. I know a ton of people that never throw shad color white baits, because they don't think that there's shad around here, where it's like the opposite. Like there's so much flooding and stuff that places they shouldn't be, and it's a problem. They're there. And white doesn't have to be a shad. You know, it could be a crappie. It could be bottom of a bass. You look up out a bass, it's, you know, pure white, you know, so it's different things it could. So I would say it's more that way here than kind of like you were saying. But that's an interesting take. Yeah, I never really thought of it that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I just never been like, I mean, I used to throw bluegill colors a lot, and now I've just kind of strayed away from them. And I think it's because we have so many different kinds of shad here, and they're so much easier for the bass to eat because they're, number one, they're dumber. Number one, or number two, there are more of them. And number three, they're softer and they don't have spines. So, I mean, and they're bigger too. So it's more meal, you know, for less.
Gosh, I hate shad.
No, I love shad.
Spineless little fish.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It's just weird.
I've heard that too, though. Like with the whole crappie thing and bluegill thing, that there's a certain size that they will no longer touch them because they like they know that it can hurt them or something. So they'll go after those larger, skinnier fish. Yeah.
That's another reason why I don't throw big swim baits in bluegill colors or profiles unless it's like a wake bait. You know, because I mean they can't see how tall it is usually as a wake bait. But no, I'm not against bluegill colors. I'm just pointing out that I just don't throw them very much on cheddar baits.
Like, whoa.
You know what color I'm really bad about imitating, which is stupid because I used to do it back in the day all the time? Bass. Throwing bass colors.
Oh, man.
Never do I go out and be like, oh, gosh, I bet a regular, like Old Pop R and Baby Bass or like some of those other, like a Spook and Baby Bass. Now, I never go out specifically thinking, gosh, I should throw a bass color. I bet they would. Especially in the lakes where they're so overpopulated. You know, they're eating the little ones. Or, you know, I mean,
100%.
Clearly happening, and I just never think about it.
Like on the lakes that I fish, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting anybody here, but
no.
Jermaine, if you wanted to go ahead and answer that or do anything, I don't know if you. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking more than you. I'm sorry.
No, you're all right, brother. You're all good.
But I mean, like whenever a bass hits like my bass colored, say swim bait, because that's mostly what I throw as far as bass colors go. I feel they hit it harder and they fight harder. I feel like they're, I don't know, they're a bit different fish. Like they're a different kind of bass, I guess you could say. I don't know, it's weird, but it's one of my favorite colors to throw is a bass color.
I could add somebody to my list. I actually had somebody
have a pass. Got rich in here.
Somebody caught me. But so I can yes, I can do a giveaway. You just can't yell at me for not getting it out.
Whoa. Where is this coming from?
Don't pull a Debo here.
We see that.
No, I've already done that. I already talked to my giveaway people. Like I'll say it.
Giveaway people.
When Brendan, what was my first giveaway? I still haven't even
7 months ago.
Yeah, minimum. And I haven't
I was just working on my list tonight. I've got like 10 packages next to me and stickers and stuff.
No,
that's a long list, Debo.
Grab this then. Everyone stay put. We're gonna get real spicy real quick.
Oh boy.
While he's going to do that, there's been a little conversation going on the side here about how many rods you're taking fishing and from the bank versus the kayaks and things like that. Debo, I know we've talked about it before. Jermaine.
New reel? You get something new there?
Yeah, some juice. No, I'll give it away.
Oh. What reel is this? Just watch, it's going to be a Zebco in the Abu box.
Yeah.
Nice. This one I were testing those. I think that should take over some of their lower lines of stuff.
So this one is a little funky because do I look awkward?
Is that a righty and you're not a righty?
Oh, it's a righty.
So
it's a righty.
Righty.
I like those grips. I like how they have the two different textures to them.
I love them. I was like,
enjoy those.
Take these off and I was like, nah, be a good guy.
Why does this have old junky cork knobs on it, Jermaine? What the hell's going on? I won this as a giveaway, and it looks like these
That's the first thing that went through my head was
cork knobs are 10 years old.
Put some other knobs back on. And I was like, just send it.
There's something about that. I think it's the middle texture on that reel where it grabs, even if your hands are like kind of wet a little bit. It grabs better than what normal grips do. It's solid reel.
I agree.
That's why these are right. I would disagree.
You guys,
they are
in your witchcraft, y'all doing over there. But
so also, I'm not sure if you guys are good for like more time. I'm not sure. I completely forgot to ask you guys how long you wanted to go.
Good whenever.
Nighttime
I'd
person.
let you know if I had to jump off. So
Okay,
I'll get it out.
Devo's
gonna
not
be
driving,
asleep.
so he's not going to fall asleep anytime soon.
yeah, Jermaine's
gonna be
in
back.
the
No, I'm
next
right.
minute, so
I'm all right. Honestly, so I'm actually I don't want it to. I don't want anyone to take this rudely, but it's almost like driving. I'm awake, but I'm sitting in the same spot. And this particular setup, I'm not a fan of because I'm looking at my phone. So the screen's really small. Y'all are really small. And it's like, I'm wincing. It makes me even like more tired, but I'm all right. Now I'm just scrolling through comments, y'all. Don't mind.
People have kids and not have Uncrustables.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know.
I thought. That's the first
And
one.
seeing them, they look good as hell. Like, yeah, I don't remember. Somebody was
one after the stream. So
to get some.
I've never seen
Tell the old lady, put them on the shopping list.
Sorry,
Waiting for my ice fishing.
Little Rich is on the list. And you know what I think so it's Little Rich, Big Malone, Dave. I think that's the three, right? I think that's everybody. I have it written down on my phone, and my phone is in front of me. I just reached for it.
You sound like me. I started forgetting mine. Luckily, I've got a Dizzle sponsored whiteboard.
Big Malone, Dave. No, I haven't written down though. Not here. I mean, I do like Abu's. But this was actually a donation from my boy Lil Tommy. So
I really think Abu came across and got like a bad name there for a minute. Just like it felt like they were putting out a lot of low level, like not Black Max, but like usually when people talk bad, they think of those type of reels a lot. And I've always been a fan of Abu. I've always thought that they've made quality reels. I've never ran across one that wasn't worth the amount of money that I paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to expect to buy a $50 reel and get a $500 reel out of it. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say. I feel as though that they got in heavily into the market of like sub 120, where they had like a bunch of reels sub 120, and everybody's like, oh well, they're all garbage. So our Abu as a whole is garbage. It's like, no, they just went more budget friendly for a while than they did, you know, non-budget friendly. You know, exactly. Like,
yeah, and nothing against the Black Max reels themselves, but like during that whole era where, like you were saying, Jermaine, they just put out every single. It seemed like every $5 increment there was a different type of reel that you could.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, what's the next one? Oh, then there's the next one at 69. Then there's the next one at 75. It's like
my exact same thing. That's what I said. That should take over the smaller like budget line, that reel that you had, because like the new, and I like Abu stuff. The new Abu Revo X makes no sense at $100. It's not even a metal frame.
They do things like that, and then you go to the one that's 115 and it's got a metal frame. So it's like silly things, but I feel like that it muddies their own waters.
I agree. Luz has kind of the same thing too, where they have just so many. And I like both. Like I don't get into the whole BS of it's made in Doyo Japanese, or Doyo Chinese thing. It's obviously bad. I don't get into that BS. Like the technology has come so far now that they make good stuff, but I agree. Like they just have so many trying to fit every single price point. It just gets it gets confusing.
I can't hook set.
Yeah, that's really weird, isn't it? That you can't.
I'm a right-handed. I just like I can. That's my problem. Like I tried to. I can only fish moving baits because I can. Like I said,
I can't roll cast with a right-handed retrieve. It's really weird.
wait. Now I'm trying to like envision it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
It's weird.
I just doesn't work.
Weird.
One of y'all right-handed good folks out there
What
will
are you
enjoy that
right-handed nerds?
sometime for Christmas. So, man,
So I've got the giveaway tool right here if you want to give it away right now.
with
Oh
that,
snap!
and I guess you want to throw it up as Abu. What is this thing? What is it? It's a Max Pro. It's a good looking reel too. It's a looker in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
White, but
I want to see if anyone can guess it. It's pretty hilarious.
Guess the giveaway.
Yeah, it's here we go. I'm gonna share the screen.
Oh geez.
Dizzle's gonna love this.
Oh
Jeez.
my god!
Man, come on.
Take
I'll
that.
change it. I'll change it.
Take that filth off the screen.
I don't even have any.
All right, Abu. There you go.
I was looking.
You
I
guys
didn't
happy?
see any
Hashtag uncrustable.
uncrustable.
Good call, Mike.
I'll put one in.
Hashtag Jermaine is sleepy.
I get it there quick.
Jermaine, you need a
Jeez.
giveaway manager.
Yeah, I do. All right.
Sure
I'll
as
get
hell won't be me. I need it. I need whoever their brother or sister is. I need to hire them as my giveaway manager too. When you
Right.
find one,
Oh man.
It's a big one. It's probably really, I think that might be my biggest one.
So you guys do hashtag Abu and put that in the chat. Make sure it's hashtag in all caps, and you'll be entered into the giveaway.
I think this will fit in that like the one-way box thing, right?
I have no idea. You just go to the mail store and they'll get you a
like
box.
The one standard price bags.
Oh, a flat rate.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. It should. You
I
should be
think
able to fit it in there.
Yeah, it should fit in there. Like,
You
still
should
got the
fit,
box.
so. Yeah,
So,
you should be good. So
now,
I'll give Abu props that I got a few of their new reels, the Gen 5s, and I think
Mhm.
stock. I think they're one of the top 2 in handle knobs.
oh yeah,
Like the new knobs are like really long.
they're
And I
nice.
think they absolutely nailed that in their casters too.
It looks
They
like a little bit longer,
absolutely-
like between the knobs.
This
Also,
piece is longer. Yeah, this is like almost a 2-inch knob, like the actual handle, which is really
Wow.
really nice. So you can like
That's
grab it and really crank.
almost a almost 2/3 Debo finger long.
Yep, it is. Yeah, it's 2/3 Debo finger. Yeah, almost. Yeah, that's the winch. Dizzle, that's your new jig reel right there. And let me test it, and then you can put it
Ooh.
through its paces on a jig.
It's not a right hand retrieve, is it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, sorry, bro. Well,
Or I should say it is a right handed.
learn to fish and be like me. Learn to fish both.
that's where it came from now. Little Tommy, my boy. He was doing some clean out, and he was like, yo, man, give this thing away. I said, all right.
Damn. Pretty cool. Yeah. So what's everyone's favorite 3 summertime lures? We're talking night fishing and daytime fishing. Solid, just all 3.
Fluke frog, shaky head.
Okay.
Was kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Debo, what about you?
Fluke frog, shaky head. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would say frog. I would probably have to say wacky rig. I don't think I've caught a single wacky rig fish at all this year. That's usually my follow up to the frog. And
You
then
probably haven't even
Wow.
tried to throw one.
maybe chatterbait, just because we have so many grassy lakes here, or swim jig. I guess maybe would be my 3. That's tough, man. This year's been kind of weird. This has been a strange year for. I don't know. This is also the year that I've not fished the most. Like I've fished the least this year out of any of the recent years, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
Has it just been work? Just been crazy?
Yeah,
Yep.
work stuff, kid stuff. Yeah, just
Man. That's hard.
I'm gonna have to say frog, chatter, and jig, but I would also like to throw in a asterisk on I love throwing, like, even though it contradicts what I said way earlier, like a buzz bait or something, like plopping something on top water for late at night, like those super, super late nights where you can't see what is going on.
So
And
you
you're
just
just chucking a lure and just waiting for the violence to like happen.
Yeah.
So much fun.
yeah, it's great. It really is.
Debo, maybe it's not because you're not throwing the 10-inch
There you go,
wacky
Debo.
rig. 10-inch wacky rig.
Oh my gosh. So funny enough, a good story about that. I had a guy that was new to fishing. We'd went out fishing a couple times. I'd met him local places. He told me he caught 2 like 5-pounders one day wacky rigging the KVD bullworm, like the big,
Yeah,
huge,
yeah.
like
The 8-inch
shaky
one.
Yeah.
That's a
And I'm
great
like, well, yeah, sorry, kid, you are new and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And then ends up going out and catching him on that again with me. And I'm like, well, I question everything I know about life now. So, yeah. So, yeah,
It's
no,
crazy
don't be
how, like,
afraid to wacky rig a giant bullworm. Yeah. How long are
it's
those?
so weird. They have an 8-inch and a 10-inch one.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I don't know which one, but yeah.
Great baits. It's so crazy that like those little like 2-pounders will eat like a 10 or 12-inch worm. It's kind of crazy how they'll go after it. It's kind of weird, but
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael Bradley, anyone fish the Yamatanuki?
Nope.
Don't plan to.
I think it's. I have them. I think they're pretty cool.
Mhm.
They're a little. I wouldn't say they're. It's weighted. Number one, it's weighted plastic. For anyone who doesn't know, it's like
It's got a
heavy,
lot of salt.
5/8 of an ounce of salt per.
Mhm.
So it sinks at like a fast creep. Does that make sense? It's like a.
It goes.
Yeah,
It's like a fast, slow fall.
Yeah. So
Or is it a quick
it's definitely a different
fast fall?
but it does have the shimmy. Yeah, it does have the shimmy. So honestly, I know a lot of people are upset and mad, whatever. I'm excited to throw missiles because of the fact that it's
So am I. Yeah, I think it looks cool.
yeah, and it's lighter. So they
Mhm.
made they did change something. They made it lighter. So they said, yes, we understand the craze, but we're going to make ours lighter than everyone else's as of
And
right
it's not
now.
$3 per bait.
Exactly. So yeah, because Yamatanukis, I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't caught a fish, and I went
Nookies.
with them, and but the price of them, I was upset. So I think it's $6 a bag, and you get 6. And I smoked, and it's Yamamoto, so that's good it's a nice soft plastic. I went through 2 of them, and I didn't catch any fish yet.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's right.
man, that's cool.
What?
So, I think that's
What exactly are they? I've just been sitting here the entire time, like, yeah, totally. I understand what you're saying with words. I've never heard of one before.
So it's like
Here, I'll pull it up real quick.
Yeah, pull it up real quick. It's a weighted plastic. It's like the poop style baits, or like.
I was just going to see how much the cover scat. So the cover scats you get, if you get the 3.5-inch, you get 6 of them, and they're $11 a pack.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think the Yamatanuki's
so $2 each.
Yeah. Yep. So that's like I said, $4. I smoked $4, and I don't think I even. So one, a perch bit the tail off, the little bitty nub, and I was like, "Oh, you son of a gun, you!" And then the other one, I think I backlashed, and it like ripped a good hole in it, and I was like, "No!" And then that was kind of that. Yeah, there you go, Randy.
There you
go.
Great action, but it's like I said, it's a weighted plastic. It's 5/8 of an ounce.
And so how are you fishing that?
It's weightless. It's like a wacky rig kind of presentation.
But you do it on a Texas rig, right?
So I mean, yeah, like a weightless Texas rig, and then I would say like Wendell's fishing's been catching them like in lily pads in like 6 to 8 feet of water. You know, kind of like pitching them into lily pads because, like I said, it falls but at like a good rate there. So
It's interesting that you said that it shimmies too. I guess I didn't realize they did that.
Yeah,
That
it
might
does
kind of be
shimmy.
fun to throw.
It does shimmy.
Almost like a power finesse. I know they're
Yeah,
meant for fishing like deeper, but you could fish them shallow and kind of do like, work it a little bit quicker around in there too.
Exactly. There's definitely a place for it. So
I almost feel like those would be something I would get in a mystery tackle box that would be like, oh, cool, thanks.
It does seem like that.
Like I would have never picked those up ever, like in the bait stores or.
I
like
saw it as like let me try something different, and I keep hearing
Sure.
about the cover scat and this, that, and the third, and I was like, okay, well, this one's the one that's readily available to me.
I wouldn't even know what the heck to do with it. Like, just be like, oh, I got
It looks
this
great.
thing.
Don't get me.
Here,
Don't get
Debo,
me
you want to
don't
try it?
get me
Debo
like
uses it,
current
catches
anyway.
a 5-pounder.
I still have confidence in the thing. Honestly, I should use it this tournament I'm going to, but like, we'll see.
Yeah. The one of the baits that's my favorite for summertime fishing. Let me grab it right here.
Drop shots.
It's
Drop
this right
shot
here.
and a 14-inch glide bait.
Maybe you can power shot, Brendan.
It's these little guys, 6-inch citizens. They're like a frog, so they have a hollow chamber in them. So they fold up like a frog, but they're on a beast hook,
Really?
so they're extremely weedless. So what you do is you
Does
throw
it have
these
a belly
on.
slit?
Yeah, the hook. Here, I'll get you.
What size hook is
I've
that?
seen those before, and I thought they were like a solid plastic.
No, so the beast hook fits in that little pocket right there. So it's super compact.
That's pretty cool.
But it folds up really well. So these are the citizens. These are made by Mike Gilbert, and he's like, I mean, he's caught so many double-digit bass on these baits. But these you throw either on a weighted beast hook or an unweighted beast hook, and you can throw them right on top of the mats and just drag them across them, and they'll drag them on like this. And the bass, like it creates more of a presence than a frog. There's some weight there. It moves the mat just a little bit. It moves a little bit of water under the mat. And those bass, they go up and just explode on. I mean, you'll watch like a 6 or 7 pounder just go and just eat the entire thing. And you'll get it, and it's like this in the back of their mouth. I mean, it's crazy. But I mean, or you can swim like a swim bait. But I mean, fishing on top of the pads is my favorite way of fishing it. And then you can also hop it on the bottom, like moonwalk it, like you would a HUD maybe. So it's one of my favorites.
What size weight or hook are you using with that? Like a 6?
Yeah, these for the 6-inch ones, a 6/0 or I believe an 8/0 will work. And then the 7-inch ones are also my favorite too. I mean,
I
like
just
both
threw
sizes.
out 6 off the top of my head. I'm very impressed with myself that you actually said 6. So
yeah,
just gonna pat myself on the back right now.
I froze.
Oh, you're
Debo froze with a super happy face on.
This anytime Dizzle calls me, this is the exact face before I answer it.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
right.
man.
Well, I think you hit the
Look at
over.
How do you screenshot on a computer again? I gotta get that real fast.
Yeah, it must be live. Must be present to win. Everybody in here?
Yes, must be present for
Hashtag Pablo.
Yeah. So yeah, these are awesome baits. Debo, I think you would probably like these from where you're at. These are 6-inch. They're not super big.
Those look good. Those kind of reminded me of like the Miyagi. I didn't realize they were hollow like that. I thought they were like just a hard injection. Like
no, they're
really
super cool.
Yeah, I'll have to look those up.
Yeah, I have an extra pack here that I could send you if you wanted, but they're super
No,
great
don't do
baits. Oh, all right. But
Debo.
I would definitely get the 6-inch if I were you.
All right, Brendan.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say too, while you're rolling that, somebody shared one of his videos like way back when I was getting big into the swim bait stuff. Like, okay, I'm going to learn these, and I still suck at it. But his YouTube videos were really interesting. Like just listening to his theories on, because like, is he the guy that fished for like a year? He fished the same lake for a year, trying to like learn the exact patterns of all the fish in his lake and stuff. Like it was really interesting.
Dude, that dude is like one of the smartest dudes on our like about fishing, especially for big bass. But I mean, I'll send you a cool video that he just did a while ago that was really entertaining. But congratulations to Kyle Downey.
Congrats, Kyle.
Congrats, Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
You're getting a super awesome reel. It's from what I've used, I used it frogging just because it was what I had with me at the time. It's not necessarily designed for frogging, but it held up fine on some decently sized fish coming through some nasty, nasty scum. So very versatile,
Yeah.
versatile reel.
There you go.
So congratulations. Jermaine, how would you like him to contact you?
Now we can start getting the over and under on how long it takes him to get it.
It's gonna be another 8 months, Kyle. So get ready.
Get out soon.
Next year.
Yeah, I'll get it out very soon.
Yeah. So Kyle, do you have Instagram or do you not have Instagram?
Everything. Yeah. Reach out if you could reach out to me on either Instagram. Instagram would be the easiest. But if not, let me know. I'm looking at the chat now. Kyle, let me know what's the best way to get in touch with me. Email. That IG. Okay. I hope you follow me. Jesus, man.
That's awesome. Oh, man. Look at that. Okay, he says, I got IG. So there you go, Kyle. You can hit him up.
Instagram. I keep reaching for my phone. Once again, it's on right in front of me.
That is very true. Tyler is probably on 6 or 7 months now as well, I think.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty close.
All right, I'll get mine.
We'll see.
110%.
There you go. The war of shipping.
Right.
Don't think you can beat Tyler.
I'll go in I'll probably go. I gotta finish packing. I put like some of Malone stuff together, and I put some of Malone. You still don't have any 6 Cent stuff at all? I'm looking for. I hope he's still in here.
Oh man, I think we probably should be wrapping it up soon here. I don't want to keep.
I'm just waiting for Brennan to stop sharing his screen so I get a bigger screenshot of Debo and his pouty face. Oh, I think I got it. I hope so.
Just check to make sure. Now, everybody in the stream, take a picture of Debo and then put that as your YouTube channel thumbnail kind of thing. So that way, next time he does a stream, all of you have that face on your little thumbnail thing.
It's there's no, you don't have to worry that I'm frozen because that's the exact face I'm making right now with all this malarkey going on.
Oh man.
Yeah. On the first day of Christmas, Jermaine sent to me my giveaway from last year.
Oh man.
Oh,
there goes.
Yeah, get out of here, nerd.
Yeah. Now we're just left with grumpy old Debo.
Well, guys, what do you think about people walking on my lawn? I hate it.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. So I think we should probably wrap it up here. Don't want to keep y'all too long. He's back. Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Didn't like me nipping that screenshot at all. Making sure I can update my.
See, a karma. That's exactly what that is. That's computer karma.
Oh man.
Well, okay, Malone, I'll get you
guys.
Malone, I'm gonna get you some goods. He said he's only got a few things from 6 Cent, so
he'll get you the goods in about 2 years.
I'm gonna get you hooked up. Who's the Kyle? Hit me up.
Yep.
I'll get everybody hooked up very soon. And Debo Dizzle, thanks for coming out. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Anytime. Thanks for having us on, fellas.
Yeah,
thank you guys for hopping on. Really appreciate it. So, in all of your channels, including Dizzle's, is linked in the description below. Dizzle, we need some videos soon.
I'm thinking about it pretty soon.
Okay, if I send you when I send you the floating jigs, will you make a video on them?
Sure. I hope to have one. I hope to beat you to the punch on that one.
Okay, perfect. So thank you guys so much for watching. Links are in the description. Sponsor links, Tech Warehouse, all that stuff is in the description. So you guys go check them out, and catch you guys next week. Thank you guys.
Bye all.
Later.
Easy, everybody.